Hi guys, welcome to Chicken Guardians Adventures. So we've made homemade spaghetti bolognese. Yes, it's only a small plate, but little enough done. So that's my spaghetti bolognese. So this is what I do to eat spaghetti bolognese. Are you ready, guys? So I have yogurt. Yogurt helps with the bowels, the stomach, and everything else. It's really good for you. It's plain Greek yogurt. I always put it on my spaghetti bolognese. When I met my wife, she had 4 kids and pregnant, and she made it all out of it. You know, one of them domino sauces. She had loads of sauces, and guys, me and my wife nearly didn't meet because she didn't have salt in the house, and I was a very, very avid salt eater. So put the yogurt on, and then I have Greek halloumi cheese. Now I do like the Italian cheeses as well, you know, the hard, I call it sweaty feet cheese because it smells like sweaty feet. So the kids called this squeaky cheese. So what I do is I use it for my spaghetti, and I use it for a lot of stuff. You can use English cheese, you can use Leicester, you can use whatever cheese that you find good. But I do like my Greek cheese. So, did you like my last video, by the way, of Cherry Willingham pizzas? What, that stayed fresh. I had it for 2 days, and that stayed fresh, and it was still crispy and fresh. So you should, guys, if you're close, go out and try it. Cherry Willingham Pizza in Lincolnshire. Yeah, just phone them up. Get it delivered. So I will do shout outs to people and stuff like that. I will be answering questions. I just want to, before we start, we lost someone over the weekend. Through an eating disorder. She played in Big Brother. She'd done 2 biographies on eating disorders. We all know who I'm talking about. I don't need to mention the name, do I? So lots of love goes out to the family and friends. It's just hard with eating disorders, to be fair, and medical problems that deal with food. It's very hard. Yeah. So anyway, let's move on to something happier. So this is my spaghetti bolognese. This is the way I eat it, with, like I said, yogurt. What I do is, how I do my spaghetti is, I put an oxo cube in. So you can either put chicken oxo cube or into the boiling water before you put the spaghetti. But I normally use vegetable stock. Or you can throw in a carrot and some other stuff just to get that vegetable flavour. But, and then I cook it for 20 minutes, not 15. Switch it off. Drain it, and then I will put butter, pure butter. Not like margarine, but if you like margarine, put margarine. I do add extra sprinkles of fresh mint normally as well. It's nice mint or coriander on it, but today my stomach's a bit usual. So yeah, and that's what I do. But I always have yogurt, and I think the kids, since they've eaten yogurts, they won't eat spaghetti bolognese without yogurt. if you have spaghetti bolognese, if you've never tried it with yogurt, try it and let me know what you think. It's not a thing. I've done it ever since I've had spaghetti bolognese. I don't know why I do it. But I do it with spaghetti bolognese. And I've done it for about 30 odd years. So, yeah. Most of my pastas I use Greek yogurt, plain yogurt. So, if you haven't tried it, comment down below. If you have tried it and you don't like it, tell me why. Because it might be the fact that you're not using the right cheese. But don't go using honey yogurt or anything like that. It's got to be plain Greek yogurt or Greek style yogurt. Yeah, you know the plain ones. So, guys, sorry that my last video I had to stop the brook. What happened was I went into serious pain and it caused me to have a panic attack. So that's why I had to switch off the video in the last video. That's going to happen quite a lot. You also might see me look alright 1 minute and then just run. I'll try and pause it, but sometimes I can't. And like I'm going pale now, it's because I'm eating, so I'm just going to, might have to rush the toilet to, you know, so. So everyone's been asking me, have I got an eating disorder? No, I had an operation that went badly wrong. It damaged my stomach. It damaged everything inside, my intestines and everything. And since then, signals are sent to my brain to say that food's poisonous and I'm in pain. And see, Nikki Graham was a great person. She had plenty of friends and family to love and care for and protect her and stand up for her and stuff like that. And she had an eating disorder she'd been fighting since a little kid and no one could help her. And I was sitting there and I kept thinking, what chance have we got? What chance have we got when you haven't got no one to comfort you, to a friend to call if you're feeling bad, when you have an eating disorders, someone to say, look, you're getting too skinny, what's going on, you know, someone to be there for you. What chance has us normal people got if a famous person like Nick couldn't get the help? It's worrying because I've been saying for years I've got a food disorder. It's not anorexia and it's not bulimia. It's not that. Food, when I eat food, it causes so much pain before and after that I tend to avoid it. But since the COVID jab, the AstraZeneca, I got very poorly. If you look on my YouTube video, you'll see I got very poorly. I got blood clots, I got very poorly. My immune system, I didn't have much of, and it dropped. It just attacked. It felt like every part of my body was being attacked. My body hurt, my head hurt, I had migraines, I had to have injections. Oh, it's just, and everyone has been calling me names, stupid, dumb, retarded, because I said, yes, I'm going to have the second one. Why? Because it isn't about me as one individual in the whole human race. It's not about me. It's about the human race and the future. our children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. If we are cowards now and we hide and we bitch about these vaccines and bitch, I'm not saying if it's hurting, like me, it was really bad, but I'm not saying don't call the government out and say, oh, don't be giving me a cheap vaccine that's going to cripple my body. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is I'm not going to be selfish when the future's... Can you imagine our kids and grandkids growing up in a world where you have to be locked down? Can you imagine mental health? The economy. If you've got kids, or even if you haven't, excuse me. Okay. I'm back. Sorry. I was going to pause the video and then cut this bit out. But you need to see what food disorder does to people. What kind of stress we go through to eat, the pain. Because a lot of people think, oh, just pick up a cake and eat it. They really do. Some people really believe how to deal with food disorders is force feed people food. But if you're in pain, say you're scared of spiders, I don't expect you to live in a house, hello Guardian, and in a room full of spiders. I expect your house to actually not have any spiders. But you can avoid them. It won't kill you. If you avoid spiders and you call someone to get rid of a spider if it comes into your house, it's not going to be detrimental to your health, avoiding it. However, if I avoid this food, knowing if that's going to cause me pain, if I avoid it, what, darling? Yeah, I'm telling them. I'm explaining to them. If I avoid it, I die. So what do? Do you see what I'm saying? So it's not as easy as just feed them cake. It's not. It's not easy just sorting this out. It's the whole thing. Like, if you give a baby too early, some people say, oh, start feeding them solids at 6 months, right? And some babies aren't ready. And all of a sudden they get colic. What, darling? What, sweetheart? You've got yours there. All of a sudden you've got colic. The baby's got colic, it's screaming, it's in chronic pain. And then you think, I should have stayed. I've tried the baby food bit. I know, I'm telling them. So I tried mashing everything. I tried doing the baby food. I tried eating the soups. It's just not good enough. It's for the body. It's not. Your body can't survive like that for long. I think it kind of, if you're the older generation, like in your 90s, 88, something like that, where only if you don't do much, you know, if you don't go out running or you don't walk your dog for hours or what, darling? You want to talk to him? Would you like to talk to him? But you ate your chicken. I showed them on TikTok. He's having a go because I'm in pain. He wants me to stop eating because he knows. And I would right now, but I'm not allowed. Because if I lose any more weight, I'll have a heart attack or stroke. That's another thing I've noticed. A lot of people ignore us with food disorders or deny we have it, especially doctors who know they can't help. or it's going to take too much. But they won't deny a £600 person. They won't deny a £300 person. If a £300 person or a £600 person phones doctors and says, I've got an eating disorder, I'm constantly eating, I can't stop. There's something in my brain that won't let me stop. I don't do much exercise and I'm way overweight. Oh, you'll get diabetes, you'll get cancers, you'll get this, you'll get that, you'll get all this lot. And you go online looking, and like My £600 Life and all these doctors about overweight, and all the news talks about is overweight people, obesity, and what obesity can do in children and adults, but not one mention about us, about the other side of the human race. What about the ones that are struggling to eat, are struggling with food the other way, where we're not eating enough, or like we've got phobias with food, all food. Some people with eating disorders will eat the same food day in, day out because it's the only thing that doesn't hurt them, and it's the only thing they feel safe with. So someone will have every meal, breakfast, dinner, tea, supper, would have Yorkshire puddings with gravy. Because that's the only thing that stops him not having any pain. You've got others that have body dysmorphia. They can't help themselves. See, some big people turn around to me and say, you don't understand what it's like. You see a cake, and if you don't eat it, you're inside, you feel bad, you feel depressed, you have to eat that full cake. But a bulimic would know. Because a bulimic binges and then makes themselves sick because they feel guilty because they don't want that fat. And they can look skinny as me. I've seen it, I've been there. They can look as skinny as me, and you can tell them 1,000 times your BMI's really low, you're underweight, blah, 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 blah. But they don't. They see where the fat is. They see where their stomach might have a little tiny bit of skin hanging off or something like that. And in their heads, they think if I eat and then I feel uncomfortable when I've eaten, if I be sick, then most of it wouldn't have gone in my food. It wouldn't have gone in my stomach. It wouldn't have gone on me. And it's that. So, bulimia, people know that I've got bulimia. They know what it's like to sit there and look at a cake and really want it and fight with themselves for hours and eventually succumb to snacking all night and then vomiting. You know, it takes over your life. Now, a couple of years of my subscribers have asked, what's my eating disorder? I'm going to cut a long story really short, because one day I am going to do a story on it. I had a gallbladder operation that went horribly wrong. A woman before me was very large. It was over £400, and she didn't want to do it, so they had to calm her down, so they put me in, and it was the beginning and early stages of, it was new to do keyhole surgery. So I think I was one of the 5th, 6th person to have it done in the city. So they blew me up, ripped all my stomach up and stuff. They put too much gas in, and then the machine thought I was the lady before and pierced every part of my body, damaged all the nerves in my bowels, my stomach. And now my brain thinks food is poisoning me, and food is dangerous, and food is painful, and my body does everything it can to avoid what my brain does. So I sit and argue with it because I'm stubborn. But this plate that I'm eating is a goofy plate. I've had it since I had the operation when I was 27. My wife brought it because she said I act like Goofy. And the kids used to call me Goofy. So it's for children. So my plates are the size of children. Because if I can get away with it, I would do a teacup plate. You know, you get a teacup and you get the saucer. If I could get away with eating that, I would. So we don't have them. I don't have them in the house. So the smallest plate I've got is this one. And then I've got to fill. I mean, this would feed a 5-year-old. Just. So, yeah. I'm full. So what I do to check how much I've eaten, I started getting confused because I can't write things down, being word blind and unblind. So I can't see times. I don't weigh my food, and I can't see calories, so I can't count calories. So if you look at it that way, I've had a full plate and I've managed to eat this little bit here. So imagine that side, right? Imagine that side, and then that's all I've eaten. And my stomach is hurting. Like I've had a starter, a main, an afters, a treat. Because my brain, because I chew, if you look, I chew quite a lot. It takes 20 minutes. There's a muscle, this is what my dietitian told me that, sorry, it's my autism. I've got ADHD, so I'm on medication to keep me concentrated, but sometimes a bird will come and he's trying to take Guardian's fare, because the summer's coming in now, so for 2 weeks he's going to drop his fare. So there's a muscle here and here in your jaw, and when you chew, apparently it takes 20 minutes before, when you start eating, it'll take 20 minutes for your brain to kick into gear and your stomach, and for this to communicate with your brain. Yes, I am going pale because I'm about to be sick, so please, I get it. I get you're going to call me all sorts of names. I get it. I can't read it, so my care workers aren't going to tell me. But please be gentle, okay? Because I'm doing this to try and help me with my food disorder, and also to make aware of people's food disorders. And there's so many different ones, and yet mental health doesn't see 90% of the food disorders. If you're not anorexic and you're not bulimic, then you haven't got a food disorder. It's like autism with learning difficulties. If you don't fit in any of the boxes, they sort of put you in half and half, and then they make it up because there's no question. Every autistic person is different. But as an adult autistic person who survived in care and who survived on the streets, and just survived on the streets, mind, and got into trouble and everything like that, we can live in society, and the tantrums do stop, except for when you do things wrong. Then we sort of are harsh. We're our worst critics. We get frustrated with ourselves, and we like lash out. That's you know, that I haven't been able to curb yet, but I will eventually. I need care workers, of course. I need support workers, of course. And I need Guardian, my service dog, who is a medic dog, but he's also a service dog that is an emotional support animal. And if you go over to ESA's website, Emotional Support Animals website, and you've got a dog and you're a care worker, or you're someone who wants to have a dog to help people get over anxiety or anything like that, if your pup, you have to get public liability insurance, you have to pay a lot of insurance money, but if you want to do that and take your pup to work or something like that for emotional support dogs, you can register them, they'll come down, do a test, and if your dog passes, they have to be non-aggressive, they have to be kind, gentle, they have to be tolerant of humans. Medical dogs are different, but again, me and Guardian have never separated since Guardian was 8 weeks old, except when I've been rushed in and been seriously ill. But apart from that, he's there. If I go to hospital, he'll come with me. Okay, so anyway, I've got to keep eating. Right, so yeah. So oh yeah, I was telling you about chewing. Sorry. It must be frustrating for you poor people because my autism, I flip from one story to another. I'll try not to, okay? So, you have this muscle either side. And when you chew, it takes 20 minutes for your stomach to tell your brain you're starting to eat. Right? So, if you wolf your food down, you hardly chew, you're going to overeat. You're going to feel full quick, and then you're going to feel hungry 10 minutes later. Have you ever done that? Have you ever ate a sandwich so fast because you've been so hungry that you've hardly chewed it, you drank your drink, and then 10 minutes later you're looking for something to pick, like something sweet? That's because the brain and the stomach hasn't had time to figure out what you're eating and how you're eating and how to change it into sugars and stuff like that, right? But I over chew because I have a fear of choking, a real big fear. I can't swallow tablets. If I put a tablet in my mouth and then take water and go to drink it, it's me done. It tightens and it won't let go, and then I can't breathe. So what I have to do is like crush my medicine, unless I'm in severe pain, like the other day where you saw I just chewed it, and then used water when it was so small. But again, I'm fighting because my stomach tells them that that's poisonous because it still thinks it's food. It doesn't know that it's medicine. It just knows something's gone into my stomach and triggers the brain to say it's poisonous, it's going to hurt you, blah, blah, blah. So it's not ideal, but what can you do? So, yeah, so if you don't chew your food, you can eat more, but you're going to feel fuller quicker. And then that's how you overeat. If you sit and chew your food and chew it down, not only are you helping your digestive system not have to work hard, but you're also giving your body a chance to say it's eaten and it's full, a natural full. I want to one day be able to finish one of these small meals and not be in pain. I also want, that's my goal, just to finish one of these little plates or finish most of it and not feel so bad, so sick afterwards. And then one day I want to put weight on and I want to go and eat in a restaurant. Because I'm a chef, right? I'm a qualified chef. I've always loved food. Before the operation, I could eat 4 12-inch pizzas, stuffed crust pizzas with cheese, and think nothing of it. And then a couple hours later have a kebab. I could eat a starter, a main and an afters, and a roast dinner, and then at tea time have like sandwiches and pork pie and custard, obviously not together, and have like a donut or something like that. I could do that. My favourite afters is trifle. What's your favourite afters, guys? If you could choose one afters to have all to yourself, what would it be? Mine is trifle. Not the mixed fruit trifles with all the soggy fruit, just jelly and custard and cream on top with the sprinkles. Just old-fashioned plain trifle. And sometimes, when I haven't got care workers or people bossing me about telling me that I can't eat it, I've got to eat food first. Sometimes I'll make a trifle at night because I don't eat overnight. Round about 5 o'clock, I can't. If I eat after 5 o'clock, then I'm in hospital. That's why I eat early. I eat a big meal like this. Well, I call it a big meal. It is a big meal, but not someone who doesn't eat it. And for tea time, I'll have a biscuit and a cup of tea. So you said, what do I have for breakfast? Right, so depending on the pain when I get up. So if I have bad stomachache and I take my medicine and it doesn't react too bad and then the medicine works, I will have a crumpet. For you Americans and other people in the country that don't know what a crumpet is, it's an English type of muffin, if you like, and you put butter on it and honey or jam and cheese or honey and cheese, and you have that. Normally they have it for tea time, but I have that for breakfast. Or I'll have half a piece of toast with butter and honey. The most I've had for breakfast, I tried before I had the injection, the Friday. It's been 16 days now, and it's only today that I've started to feel a bit more normal, if you like. I had all the blood clots and all the crap that goes with it. Yes, yeah, carry on calling me names about taking it. But like I said, what I go through when I have the injection, this isn't about me. You think of the future, right? If we don't find a defense for this COVID. Do you remember in 2000, I think it was 2003, the SARS virus come out, right? It was a big thing. Luckily, it got stopped before it could become a pandemic, but it was close. They already had the COVID vaccines for that. They already built the machines to stop the COVID, to stop the SARS virus spreading and causing a pandemic. And they put it in the flu jab, right? I have the flu jab every year. And I'm telling you, since I've had it, 1 year I didn't have it, I ended up in hospital with pleurisy, pneumonia, and I nearly died of flu, actual flu, because of my condition as well. So I never skipped it again. It wasn't even my fault I skipped it. My care worker didn't come pick me up, so I missed it. But now my doctor or my district nurse will come out and give it to me to make sure I never ever miss it again. So they already had it. They already had these vaccines. That's why it happened. People are scared because they say it happened so quick. They got it too quick. Why? It normally takes 5 years. Do you know what I mean? Now they're saying, oh, Bill Gates might be injecting something so we can all become... Listen, I get it. All these theories could be right. One of you could be right out there. You know, there's no smoke without fire. Some of you are right that's saying you're putting poison into your bodies. Let it naturally happen. I get it. But would you chance your future generation, our future generations as humans, would you chance it on that? Look, in each war, they bring back, when they leave and go to a country to fight a war, when they come back, they always bring back pandemics with them, right? So, I see myself as a soldier. And this time, out of all the wars, see, I can't join the army in that because of my physical health, but also my mental health. They asked me a few questions and apparently I said it wrong or something, and they said, you're crazy, you can't. They didn't actually say I was crazy, but they said there's something mentally not right where we're not going to give you a weapon, right? And we don't think the army's for you, we don't think the navy's for you, we don't think any war things are for you. We don't think you'll make it. So I went, okay, fair enough. Because I've got too much compassion or something. If I see someone struggling in the street, I'd go over and help them, knowing the fact that they could be an enemy and have a bomb, of course. Because they're humans or animals or anything that needs help, of course. That's why I have hands. That's why I have legs, to walk me over there, and hands to pick someone up when they fall. So anyway, but this time, my disabilities, my illnesses, don't matter. I can still fight this war. And it is a war. It's a war against COVID. It's a war against another country bringing their behaviours, whether it's what they eat or what they do, their behaviour has caused nearly the wipeout of humankind. Whether it's deliberate or not, it's not the point. The point is, well, it is the point, but the point is, we're soldiers. Our next generation, if we don't be the guinea pigs, if we don't fight this COVID, if we don't try, if we just act like we've got no spine and we say, no, I'm not going to have it because people are being sick. Yeah, I got it really bad. Am I going for the second one? Of course. I've got no choice. Because if I want my nieces and nephews and my kids and my grandkids and my great-great-grandkids and all that lot, if I want them not to suffer like we're doing now, we have to be the front line. We have to take the bullet. Wouldn't you take the bullet for your kids? Wouldn't you take the bullet for your brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews? Wouldn't you take it? If you saw someone you loved in pain, wouldn't you take their place if you could? So that's the way I see it. So when I had the COVID injection and it went horribly bad, there was a survey done and they were going to give it to kids, 15-year-olds, children and under. And now they're not, because of what it's done to people like me. How bad it is to people like me. How it's damaged the immune system and that. So because of that, now our kids don't have to go through it and suffer. They'll find another one that's less harsher and probably less painful on their bodies. Because we took the first vaccine. We're the soldiers. Us. You realise that mankind could be wiped out with this. And I get the conspiracy theorists. And you know what? Some of them sound very, very plausible. But it isn't about that yet. I'm all for people putting their views forward of what they think about all this. I'm all there for suing China. I'm all there for finding out the truth. I'm all there for what if it's this, or what if it's that, or what if it's the other. I'm all there for that. But at the moment, I can't think of that. At the moment, it doesn't matter. At the moment, what matters is I've got to stand as a soldier and take whatever's coming my way. So I know that my wife's kids, my nieces, my nephews won't have to grow up in a world where they get locked down, where they're mentally ill because they can't talk to the friends, where they're going to have to be taught in their living rooms rather than in school, so they can't go meet their friends, where they can't go to pubs no more because they need a passport or something like that. Think of it this way. Have you got a younger generation to you? Look in their eyes. Would you want them to go through what we're going through now? Taking the injections, being ill, having banging migraines, becoming sick, could die from having the injection. Are you willing to allow them to go through that? Do you want them to go through that? See, whether you believe in the virus or not, whether you believe how the virus came here or not, whether you think it's a good idea or not to have the vaccine, it's not the point. We can argue that later. If someone invades our country, are you willing to fight to protect your country? We have had an invasion. Don't know what it is. It could be anything. It could be an attack from China. It could be anything. It could be the fact that their eating habits and their behaviours have caused this pandemic. We won't know yet. And I'm all for standing up and going and marching through and ordering the government to find an answer. But not now. Now's the time where we fight. Now's the time where we stand together, hold hands and show them how strong Britain is. Now's the time we say, yes, the COVID vaccine is crippling us. The COVID vaccine is putting me in hospital. The COVID vaccine has got tubes going down me because I've got lungs collapsing, because I've got blood clots. Yes, I'm 15, 16 days and nearly died. I lost so much weight because I couldn't cope with the vaccine. The vaccine's too harsh. Then we go to our government and we say, listen you, we don't want a cheap vaccine. We don't want a version where it kicks our asses every time we have it and it lasts like 48 hours. 48 hours is too long to have back pains. We don't want this. We want you to find one. And they're going to say, like everyone else, let's fight the virus first and then let's find a less harsher one to do our future generations. So when you're sitting there in your 70s, 80s and 90s, God help you to get there, right? You can sit there to your great-grandchildren and say, I was one of the ones that didn't believe in the vaccines, didn't believe in COVID or anything, but I was one of the ones, I still took the injection. So when they turn around and say, why? So you didn't have to. I was rushed into hospital with blood clots. I was vomiting. It nearly killed me. So why did you take it? So you don't have to. So the future injections that you get won't hurt you because I took the pain. I stood in front. I did what I was meant to do to protect my future, to protect my children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, my bloodline. Do you see what I mean? You're the hero. But could you sit there when your great-grandchild comes up to you and you're sitting in your old age and they go, I just had my COVID jab and We can't go to school today because it spreaded the pandemic again, and this is like 50 years time, yeah? And it spreaded again, and it really hurts, Grandma, Granddad, it really hurts. I've got a headache, I don't feel too good. Oh, come here. And then they find that the other person, but my friend's great granddad or grandma took the first COVID vaccine, and she got very poorly, or he got very poorly. They got very poorly. But thanks to them, there's no pain. So which one are you? Are you the one that's going to be able to tell the story that you were the first line of defense to stop COVID and stop the behavior of China causing any more pandemics because of their behavior? Or are you the one that's going to say, nothing to do with me? Why should I take it? I don't even believe it's real. It's up to you. But I tell you something, guys. I'm not going to chance it. Whether it's real or not, I'm not going to chance that my grandkids, great-grandkids, my nieces and nephews, their kids are going to have to go through this, because I was too much of a coward to do it. And I was using too much excuses, because I'm not a coward. I've fought since the day I was born to be alive. And I don't think it's right that China should get away with this anymore. But I need to be here to fight that, to stop future generations getting this. I've got to stay strong so I can fight to close down these wet markets if it's true. And it is the wet markets. It might not be true. It might be the fact that our own government paid another government to find the virus, make it into a human form, and it escaped. Who knows? Eventually it's going to come out. The truth is going to come out. All this truth is going to come out. But don't you want to stand there and say, it don't matter, I was a hero. It don't matter. You get the AstraZeneca or the Pfizer or any of the other injections. You get it because I stood in the front line and I took the pain. Do you see what I'm saying? When you're in the home and your care worker's wiping your ass and they're leaving you with urine stained pants, we'll get to you in a minute, we've got others to do. You can say, oi, when I was younger, I took the first vaccine. I was one of the first people. I was that generation. So today you can be safe working. That you could go to college and university to be a carer, to be a nurse, to be a doctor. My generation did this for you. I went through hell, through blood clots, through vomiting, through pain like I've never felt. And you're here today because of that. So let's have a bit of respect and wipe my butt. But I know when I'm not, but do you see what I'm saying? That's why I'm doing it. Right, I'm finished, guys. The pain's too bad now. It's right in my gut. I've got to go off and be sick. So I hope you have a nice day today. Try the spaghetti bolognese with the yogurt. Please look into the vaccines. Please think about it carefully instead of just saying no or just hearing one person's view on it. Talk to a lot of professionals if you have to before. Watch a lot of videos. Educate yourself and then make your decision. Not mine, not somebody else's, not theorists, not someone because they're famous or they can sing. All I ask you to do is look into it and think about it and make your decision what's right for you. This is Chip and Guardian at Chip and Guardian Adventures. Another dinner time chat. Catch you in the next one.